This week on Rolling the Robsons, we dodged the sea on the causeway, visit the stunning and beautiful Holy Island, we explore a stunning hidden beach and show you how to find it, and review a beautiful CL in an amazing location within Northumberland. So remember to smash the like button and subscribe if you're not already. Hi, so we arrived here on the site at Old Mill here, so we've just got here, got everything set up, literally just sorted, and now we're going to go out for tea. It's just me and Lucy, so we're going to go on a little date night, which Lucy will kill us for showing you there. See you in a sec. So we've arrived at where we're going to eat. It's the Lindisfarne Inn here. Because it's a bit of a date night, I know you'd like to come with us, but we're going to say no this time. So we'll show you a bit of footage of what we get and what we order, and then if we even get pudding, we'll show you that, and then we'll be back at the campsite. So as I said, we'll not show you in here because we're going to have a little bit of a cheeky date night. Good morning, Rolling the Robsons here, and we are still at the stunning Old Mill campsite. Today we're going to go off to the amazing Holy Island, which is a really important place if you're a Christian, probably in the northeast here, because it's where some of the Celtic saints came from. So we're going to look at Lindisfarne Priory there and other parts. So we've just kind of got up, like I said, we've had breakfast, had a shower on the facilities, very nice. And now it's kind of time to get going, so see you in a bit. So we're here on Holy Island, just parked at the car park. You actually have to come over a causeway, so you have to wait till the right time. There was quite a few impatient people. We'll put some drone footage of them up in a second and a few notifications about the causeway, but we're here now. So we're going to go for early lunch because obviously it does get very busy here in Holy Island, and then we're going to see what we're going to do from there. But this is an absolutely amazing place, so stay with us and watch all the way at the end all the different shots here of Holy Island because it is absolutely beautiful. We're now here at the Priory. We're not going in because we're not National Heritage kind of card holders. We can still come around the courtyard of the Church St Mary the Virgin. So as you can see here, part of that. So originally that would have been of the monks on here, and actually the first landing place of the Vikings was here when it was sacked, and they all came out and thought, why did they have no weapons at all? So obviously here we had St Aidan and also St Cuthbert were here. I do believe Bede was here at some point, I think, but I could be not telling the truth there. But this is kind of where Lindisfarne is, obviously the Catholic abbey. Obviously then eventually it was dissolved when Henry VIII became king, but beautiful place. Let's have a look around. See a few of the Celtic saints we've got from my own house to St Oswald. Just walking down now to St Cuthberts Island, which is an island just off away from the Priory, which was lived on by St Cuthbert. And actually, a lot of the time, even when the tide's out on the causeway, just watching the road there, you still can't get to it. So we're going to have a quick wander down and show you that. But really kind of stunning views. In fact, it almost looks slightly tropical because you've got like greeny waters off the edge there. So let's have a look down there. So as I was saying, we just walked down this here. It's St Cuthberts Island, so St Cuthbert himself used to come here, so not a million miles away from the Priory and where the monks would have lived. But he came here for a bit of solitude just so he could think. Obviously he was the Bishop of Lindisfarne and therefore a very important person in the northeast or the northern region part of Scotland for the Catholic Church at the time. So he came over here. Often on the beach as well you can find what are called St Cuthbert's beads, so if we find them we will show you them. If we don't find them then we won't show you them. So again, it's just a place that you can literally, Holy Island, you can come here all day and you can just explore. In fact, I reckon you could stay here a good week as long as you don't mind walking and the weather's good. You could just have a big wander around. So yeah, breathtaking. a bit rocky up here, so just be careful you come towards the lighthouse. So we've wandered around a bit more on Holy Island, and these here are kind of really cool. They're actually, if you don't even see them, they're upturned boats, but then I think at one point they were used as little houses, maybe many years ago, but now they're just used for fishing stuff, but just kind of straight onto the beach so the fishermen can get straight on, get things sorted and out. Amazing though, beautiful. So we're just kind of wandering now towards castle. So there is the main castle, which is wandering up to there now, but this is the main sort of marina where all the boats go, the fishing boats go, and I see quite a few other boats just kind of sitting on the shore here. So we've now reached next to the castle. Again, we're not going to go in. I'm not even sure we'll be able to get the drone, to be fair, because last time we were flying the drone it was starting to whinge a bit about the wind, but it is an absolutely stunning castle. Actually National Trust, so if you're a National Trust member you can get in for free, so that's a tip for you. Next time you're away, make sure you check whether you can get in anywhere free with National Trust or National Heritage if you have it. So like I said, we were going to put the drone up. The other thing I was thinking is it too much footage of the drone? So comment down below, is it too much footage of the drone, or do you want to see more footage of the drone? And remember, smash the like button. So we've been for a walk around Holy Island. We got back, we had an ice cream, forgot to video that, sorry, but nice gelato here. So we had that, and then we were absolutely roasting because it's about 28 degrees, even 20. Even the wind, I mean the wind's deceiving, it makes it seem cooler, but it is not, it is boiling today. So we kind of took on plenty of fluids in the car, sat in the car for a little bit, put the aircon on. Again, I know that's not great for the environment, but it was sweltering. So we've kind of driven down from the main car park, and as you're coming back towards the causeway, there is a little kind of car park on the right hand side, or a little sandy bit anyway, and this is the dune. So when I was a child and used to come to the Holy Island camp here, one of the things I used to really love doing was going to the dunes. So we came down toward the dunes. We're going to walk over the top here and I'm going to get to the dunes. So I can see there's big bits, and these are kind of like the dunes. These aren't very good because there's the grass on, but as we go on we will see eventually the stunning beach on the other side.
I've been all around the world.
So the dunes are just back there, I can see them actually, but this is a completely secret beach. So a lot of people that come to Holy Island won't know that this has this colossal, huge, empty beach. Have a look. Go all the way around here, coming round, can't even see the sea, all the way over there. So a beach that hardly anybody knows about, because most people when they come to Holy Island they just go to the main bit, which is next to the castle, next to the village, and they totally miss out on the stunning part of Holy Island. So we're going to have a walk down to the sea and let's see what it looks like. Walk down to the beach here. It's a bit windy, so hopefully the sound's okay, but again, you know, the weather, if you get to the northeast, you can't grumble with beaches like this. I don't think anywhere else, probably in the UK, maybe even the world, gets beaches as gorgeous as we have here. Beautiful sandy beaches, and you can even see the water. It's quite clear. It's green over there. If you look over there, it's quite green. It's almost tropical, but again, the beach just extends forever. If I go that way, Lucy's over there somewhere. I'm going to take a walk back up. I'm going to see if we can find the dunes, which I think, I don't know if there was ones there or there. We're going to see if we can find the dunes. If we don't, we're going to go back to the campsite. So we'll see you in a bit. So we've been back here a while, it's been chilling. I mean, it's absolutely boiling, even in the caravan and outside. There's no shade. It's been 28, 29 degrees. So we've been having a bit of a chill, just to kind of relax. So didn't do any video just because we're a bit knackered, to be fair. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have some tea. Well, second tea. We actually had a few little mince pies first. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a stir fry. So we're going to need for this, 2 seconds, a pack of rice to go with it. And then a simple chicken stir fry pack. Obviously you can get yours from wherever. This one's here from Lidl, but obviously you can get it from any place that you want to get it from. There's other places and just Lidl to buy your food from. So what we're going to do is basically put a bit of spray on, tear this up, put the chicken on, put the other bits and pieces on. Then after a while we're going to add in the sauce, but at the same time we're going to add in the rice and a little bit of water so it all cooks together. And what it normally does, it kind of bonds together. It gets a bit sticky, the rice gets a bit sticky. So let's see how that goes. So to start off, we're using a little bit of spray here just to kind of get the pan moist and kind of make sure it doesn't stick too much. Add the chicken on. What I find personally is good to chop the chicken because it comes in quite big bits and cooks not very well. Now we just kind of turn over the chicken. Yes, it would be much better to use a spatula, but you know, that's one of those things. Leave it to kind of cook for a little bit and heat up so the chicken starts cooking through. Now just give it a little stir from time to time again. Check the chicken is cooking thoroughly. Next we're adding the actual peppers and the onions and other bits that came with the pack, just to kind of add it in there again, give it a quick stir, give that a little bit more time to heat up. And then we're adding the rice in. And with the rice we're going to add the sauce in. What that does, give you a bit of a gooiness. So we're just kind of getting ready to have a little film. Well, I've started watching the film actually. Been outside, took some drone shots, so I'll show you those now. A little bit of footage from the site. And then because it's the second night, I'm not drinking quite as much as the first night because I did have a little bit of a bad head this morning. And then we're on some priory. So cheers. And then for third tea, third meal anyway that we've had around the tea time, we're having a bit of cheese and crackers. So we're going to watch a film called Awake. It doesn't have the best reviews on IMDb, but you never know, sometimes those ones should be disregarded in terms of their reviews. So again we have no Martha, so instead of Moment of Martha, again you have to put up with Pictures of Paul. So as you come in the site, you actually go past a set of cottages and then the farm is round the corner. So you'll come down a bank, down here and round. Then panning round, we've obviously got the CL. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Should obviously be 5 pictures, but it seems that there's a few more, so I don't know if they've agreed that with the Caravan Club. There is then a section over here for motorhomes. So there is a hookup point there. There is obviously a section where that big tent is for tents. And then over the other side there, which we'll quickly have a look at, is the toilet section. So while we're down here, there is a mill pond. So there was an old mill here. And that is the mill pond there. As you can see, it's absolutely stunning. And if I quickly run over, you've also got a little walkway as well. So there's actually a walkway that goes through this gate all the way round the pond and then back over here. So obviously I'm assuming that this bit, was the old mill, and in this section you've got spaces for more tents. Don't want to kind of pray too much. And again, those tent pitches also have electric hookup, so I'm not sure on the price of those. The only kind of negative we've thought about the site, which is literally nothing really, is the price. CLs normally range from 12, 15, sometimes a bit more. We paid £20 before. This one, 25. So for me it's a bit expensive, but in the current climate, supply and demand, I suppose it is what it is. And obviously these guys have got to make a living, and as you know with farmers, it depends on the season how well a living they make, so fair enough. And it's a really lovely site really good location for getting to Holy Island and around the northern part of Northumberland, just below Berwick. So like I said, another tent area here, and then we've got the toilets. So in the toilet section here, we've obviously got gents toilet, an information section, a shower, one single shower, so that can get a bit busy with lots of people here on site at once, and the ladies toilet. So since the ladies, no one's in there, I'm going to quickly show you that, because the men's is pretty much the same. You've got obviously a toilet, sink, and that's about it. The other thing that's a bit different is you have to bring your own hand towel, because the farmer's very environmentally conscious and was told that if you use paper towels in the toilet, they weren't recycled by the local council, so they would just go to landfill. So he's thought about that and insists everyone brings their own hand towel. Around the corner here is a wet room. Now one good thing about the wet room is the size. So if you do have children like we do, this is really good, because then you could actually have your child in the shower and there's a little space you could sit over there. So wet room here. Well, on the other side of this little building, it's just the bin section. So you've got your bins. There was a lot of recycling for glass bins. This blue had recycling for newspapers. Chemical waste, just like an old toilet, but works really well. And then black bins around here. To be fair to the farmer, the bins were emptied every single day, which we thought was really, really good. And then lastly, around this side, we've got a dish area. So obviously you can do your dishes. The water's not the hottest. And there's obviously a little rack there to maybe put on tea towels and things. And then lastly, drinking water is there. So that's a little section review and pictures of Paul there. In the top left here is a video from our time at Embleton on the northern coast, and in the bottom right is a video at YouTube's picked for you. Remember to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.